Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, a flaming hot grilled cheese burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Refreshing and goes down smooth. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
How's your day going?
Going good, thank you, yes.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
You could win one of 2 trips to see Banana Ball live. Purchase 2 Body Armor products, use Let's Go Rewards, and you're entered to win. Right now, Body Armor is buy one, get one for $1 with Let's Go Rewards. Start getting those entries in. Let's go.
Around here, toughness isn't talked about. It's lived.
Matt Wagner with the one-handed catch down.
Early mornings, late nights.
Going forward with Ford.
Work that doesn't make the highlight reel.
Same mindset, different uniform.
This is the blue-collar grit, earned, not given.
Tough days don't stop us. They build us.
McMillan shoots and scores.
For the workers who don't back down, Ford doesn't either.
Shannon fires.
Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise, and our major sponsors, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, rowpaint.com, and the Blue and Orange store. At Lithia Ford of Boise, we're proud to stand with Boise State athletics. Through our NIL marketing partnerships, we're investing in the future of student athletes. Lithia Ford of Boise, here to get you there, wherever that may be. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Good morning, Bronco Nation. How we doing? BJ Rains with you from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Blueberry, lemonade, all the different flavors there. Make sure you pick up a Sun Cruiser at your local gas station or grocery store. And as always, our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. You wouldn't be watching this free show every weekday at 9 a.m. if not for Jim Sturk and Lithia Ford of Boise and all of our great sponsors, but certainly our title sponsor, Jim Sturk. Lithia Ford, return the favor, folks. That next used or new vehicle, make that purchase at Lithia Ford of Boise. We got a very busy show for you today. Any second, they're supposed to announce the new design for the new blue turf. There's some cool elements to it. I've got the graphics. I've got it all ready to go, but I can't get to it till Boise State announces it. So if somebody sees it, let me know on social media. But any second now, Boise State is going to announce the new look of the blue turf. And it looks like the video was just announced by Boise State. And so we're going to get to the cool elements of the new blue turf. An ode to Ashton Genty, an ode to Kellen Moore. Boise State has posted the video, some other cool elements as well. And I'm waiting to make sure the rest of it gets announced, but it looks like Chris Coots says I'm good to go here. So the new blue turf has been announced by Boise State, and it's going to be pretty cool. So we're going to talk about the new blue turf. We're going to have Mike Mertens from the marketing department on to talk about the student section at Boise State as well. For the basketball program, they're trying to get, some new things done for the student section of the basketball team. And then the NCAA tournament expanding as well, 76 teams. What does everybody think about that? We'll get to that. Busy show today. But breaking news, the new edition of the blue turf. It has been announced. And here it is. Looks mostly similar, but you're going to notice some cool things that I'm going to tell you about here in a second. But this will happen later this summer. This is the 7th edition of the blue turf. 40 years ago, 1986, the first one was installed. It happened 7 times again. That this will be the 7th version of the blue turf. The end zones look pretty much the same. The color, obviously, everything looks similar, but a couple things to keep in mind. Okay, you got the new Pac-12 logo. That's going to be cool. The new Pac-12 logo on the blue. That certainly is something that we're not used to seeing. And so you see the Pac-12 logo there at the 25s. Another cool thing, you see the 35-yard lines, the kickoff there where the kickers will kick off the 35-yard line where there's typically an X in the middle of the field. Take a look at that. You get the state of Idaho kick marker, the front porch of Idaho. Obviously, they make a big deal about that now. And so the mark where the ball will be kicked is now a subtle state of Idaho, not the little kick there at the 35-yard line, not the X. Now a little state of Idaho kicker there at the 35. That's pretty cool. Obviously, the Lyle Smith Field, that is staying as well. You see that in the top left corner, the bottom right corner of the graphic. Lyle Smith Field, 1980 was the field at Albertson Stadium for Lyle Smith. They've kept that with the blue, and obviously Lyle Smith Field is remaining. But maybe the coolest element all of this, look very closely at the hash mark for the 2-yard lines and the 11-yard lines on the sidelines. Look very closely. The 2-yard line and the 11-yard line on the sidelines, the hash marks are not white. They are orange. Well, why are they orange? Because that's their way of honoring the GOATs, Kellen Moore and Ashton Genty. The orange sideline at number 2, the orange hash mark on the sideline at number 11, honoring Ashton Genty, the Heisman Trophy finalist, and also Kellen Moore, the 2 Heisman Trophy finalists in program history. I still think long-term they need some sort of ring of honor in the stadium, but this is a start on the new blue turf. Permanent orange hash marks on the 2-yard line and on the 11-yard line for Ashton Genty and Kellen Moore, a ode to the past here. And so there it is, your new look at the brand new blue turf, which will be installed later this summer. Your first look right here on Bronco Nation News. Thanks to Chris Coots and everybody at Boise State for giving me a heads up on that, letting me get these graphics loaded. So once Boise State announced, we could have it right away for you on the show so I could show for you guys your first look. The new blue turf going to be installed in July. They're going to have the monster truck show on the old blue turf. Then they're going to take out the blue turf, sell it a little bit, and have some pieces available for sale. And then obviously the new blue turf will come in sometime in July, I believe it is, late June, early July. And it'll be ready to go for Banana Ball. The interesting part of that is it's going to look like this. And then right when they get it in, a couple of days later, they're going to repaint it all blue to look like a baseball field. So the brand new turf is going to get painted for Banana Ball, and it's going to look nothing like this. It'll look like a baseball field, and I'm sure that's going to be a little nerve-wracking for the staff and everything that you put in a brand new field and then you spray paint it 2 days later. But it will look like this when it's done. It will get painted for Banana Ball, and then it will go back to this for the Memphis game. So nice timing. The last one came in 2019. It was 2019 was the last edition of the blue turf. As I said, this is the 7th version of the turf, and it actually works pretty nicely with the debut of the Pac-12, with the North End Zone project and all the construction going on with that. It works really nicely to the timing-wise to do this all at the same time, and this was a big undertaking in terms of the price and everything that it costs to do this, but needed to be done. And there's some high-tech words in the release that I don't understand about how nice the turf is going to be in terms of the fibers and carbon fibers and whatever else they're using for it. But just be known that it's going to be a very nice version, helps performance and injuries and all that stuff. So it's a very nice, high-quality edition of the blue turf as well. So looks like a lot of great comments coming in here. Robbie Robinson loving the 2 and the 11-yard line there. Let's see. Cole says he wishes the Pac-12 logo had some more color. Got to get a better orange for the end zones. I think it looks great. Let's go. Jennifer says that's awesome. Guy loves it as well. That is so cool. Wow, this field's going to be awesome. Let's see here. Love it. Awesome. Like it. Hope we don't have any Heisman candidates with a number above 50. Yeah, I'm not sure how they would do that then. But yeah, and I do agree. And this is a side and a rant for me to have another day, but the Ring of Honor is way overdue. I'm sure they're working on something like that, but something either on the press box, in the end zone, somewhere, some sort of Ring of Honor to retire. Some of the all-time greats at Boise State need to be honored a little more. And I'm sure I know that's something Jeremiah Dickey's talked about, something that they would like to the 7-yard line for Malachi. yeah, you could, yeah. And I like this one too. You can hear it now. Memphis takes over near their own goal line, 1st and Genty. Yeah. So that's a really cool kind of small touch there. And yeah, that's a really cool thing. And it looks really cool. And yeah, kind of unique this summer how they're installing it. And then, like I said, got to paint it for Banana Ball right away, and then it'll go back. But one of the many cool things that they are doing. So that is coming later this summer. The new announcement, the new unveiling of the blue turf. Pretty cool. And you saw it first here on Bronco Nation News. And again, thanks to Chris Coots and everybody over there at Boise State for letting us get the graphics a little early so we could get them loaded into the system. But again, the big one is the 2 and 11 yard sideline hash marks here. Ashton Genty, Kellen Moore, those will be there and on both sidelines. And then I think the small cool touch as well with the state of Idaho there on the 35-yard line, instead of just the boring old X for the kickoffs. Now you get the state of Idaho as well. And so I think that is really cool to do there. So, all right, our next guest who's going to join us in just a minute, I think can even touch on this, even though that wasn't the original plan when we were bringing him on to talk basketball, but we'll do that in just a second. I do want to thank Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor, LithiaFordBoise.com. Jim Sturk and company, huge supporters of Boise State, huge supporters as our title sponsor here at Bronco Nation News. So Lithia Ford of Boise, newer pre-owned vehicles, get them now at LithiaFordBoise.com. Sun Cruiser, our studio sponsor, whether it's the lemonade vodkas, the lemonade teas, the tea vodkas, all the various flavors, options. Love that new blueberry lemonade. Low calorie, low carb. Check them out at your local gas station or grocery store. We appreciate Sun Cruiser. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com, branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. You don't realize what you're missing with ICCU, folks, until you make the switch. You may think you love your banking experience. I can promise you, all of our business accounts, personal accounts, we're so happy we made the switch to Bronco Nation News to ICCU, and you can as well. Again, online, ICCU.com. And I want to thank Jackson's 99-cent Let's Go Rewards fountain drink at Jackson's. You can get coffee for 99 cents as well, but 99-cent fountain drink using that Let's Go Rewards app. You can just type in your phone number there, but visit a Treasure Valley Jackson's location today. And I guess I'll throw one more ad read in because it ties into what we're talking about. But the 40th anniversary of the Blue Turf, you can own a limited piece of Blue Turf history. The Blue and Orange store has these jackets available, fully customizable. We were joking with Jay Tuss yesterday that we'll be seeing him wearing his around. But 40th anniversary of the Blue, fully customizable jackets. You can get those at the Blue and Orange store, and they are going to sell out. That is a limited quantity of those jackets. So if you're fired up today seeing the new edition of the Blue, you hurry out and buy this jacket before it sells out. But the Blue and Orange store, again, you can order anywhere in the world online at the Blue and Orange store.com. All right, Mike Mertens, the assistant AD marketing and fan experience, nice enough to pop on and join us here on Bronco Nation News. Mike, appreciate your time, man. I know we're going to talk mostly basketball, but I know you're involved in the cool announcement today with football, so the timing-wise worked out. We'll say we planned it that way, even though I don't think we did. But, Mike, appreciate you coming on. How you doing?
Yeah, thank you, BJ. Thanks for having me on.
Looking forward to it. Let's start right there with football for a second because the new Blue Turf comes out, the 40th anniversary of the Blue. I know you guys have some big celebrations all season long, and I know you're not ready to, well, maybe you want to announce them all right now, but I know there's a lot of cool things planned. A couple of things have come out with some of the merchandise you guys are selling and things like that, but obviously you guys are going to play that up pretty big this year, the 40th anniversary of the Blue.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of stuff planned. Again, probably not ready to talk about all of those just now, but I mean, big one being the field, right? That's going to be really cool. 40 years of the Blue. I mean, nobody else in college athletics can say that. We're constantly setting the bar, raising the bar. And so, I'm excited to be part of this because, again, throughout this whole year, we have 6 home games. We have 6 unique experiences and ways to tell our story. And we're going to do that.
Yeah, it's I think they did it with the 30th anniversary team a while back, and now you have the 40th, and I don't just touch on the design and the 2 and the 11 there, and what you guys did on the yard lines to honor some of the past players in the state of Idaho at the 35. I know this was a lot of people involved from Jeremiah all the way down, but some subtle touches on this new design that we saw that are pretty darn cool.
Yeah, so one of the things is the state of Idaho. I've lived in numerous states. One thing I could say about people that live in Idaho, they are proud to be from Idaho. And so I think that was a very nice touch. I'm not sure who actually came up with the design or who thought to put it there, but well done. The 2 and the 11, we actually had to get approval from the NCAA to do that. I don't believe any other school in the country has that. So again, we're first. I don't know if maybe moving forward the NCAA makes rules to not allow that, but we kind of got in under the gun. So I think that again is something that I'm not sure you'll see any other schools be able to replicate.
Go get a trademark for that, just like you did the Blue Field.
Exactly.
Well, that's going to be cool. A lot of cool events. The Blue Turf, the 40th anniversary. Kip says Dickey doesn't even have to work this year. 6 sellouts coming. I know folks are a lot fired up, and you guys, in terms on the marketing side, got a lot of cool things going with the monster truck thing this summer and banana ball and a lot of cool things. And obviously the North End Zone opening, then gearing up for that first home game against Memphis. A lot of exciting things going on over there.
Yeah. So, I would like to say one thing about that actual comment that was just made. Bronco Nation shows up in force, but I wouldn't just say it's a given that we're just going to sell out 6 games. So, again, I don't want people to think that there's no tickets going to be available. So, there will be tickets available. They will go fast, but there will be opportunities. So I don't want people to think that the season's already sold out and you can't get your tickets.
Mike Mertens, our guest, Assistant Athletic Director, Marketing and Fan Experience over at Boise State. And the main reason I wanted to have you on today was talk about some changes to the basketball student section. And everybody on this show knows basketball is my favorite sport. I went to Kansas. I grew up, as a blue blood following basketball. We just got Stokes yesterday, the #1 player, so I'm pumped about that. But I went to 100 games at Allen Fieldhouse growing up, and I with all these Big 12 venues covering the Big 12 when I was a student reporter, and I probably have an unfair opinion of what a student section should be based on going to Kansas. But with that said, I've long been a proponent of the student section here could do way more. You could have way more of a home court advantage than they already do, a pretty good home court advantage. And it could be even better if you got some students into the building. And last year, frankly, Mike, I mean, I'll just say it was kind of embarrassing, the student section there for a lot of those games. And I know there are a lot of reasons for it, a lot of things, but for whatever reason, the students just didn't come out the last year and really the last couple of years. And I know that's something that you and your team have really focused on, are working on. You have some ideas, and I know there's a lot of excitement with the new Section 12 going down at the other end of the arena, and this whole Pac-12 and the reseeding, and part of that is a big part of this is the student section. So I got some specific questions, but just in general, what can you say about what you guys are trying to do with the corral and why it's important to get the students back engaged and coming to the games this year?
Yeah, and so our staff goes, we've been at other schools, plus, we go to other schools during the season, and, even in our own conference, there's certain schools that they do a really good job. And so we've taken notes, and over the years, I think that there's been a concerted effort to try to make it better. But I think we finally got to a point where we were like, all right, we need to go all in on the student section because we know what it can be. And we obviously know what it is right now. And, you've made some observations and some comments, and you're spot on. There's a lot that we can do to make that student section one that I think other people want to try to replicate. And so we have kind of went back to the drawing board to figure out what are those things that we can do. And so one of the things that we said, we need to figure out how to compensate a student board to make sure that, they are just as invested as we are. And so, people have probably seen on social media, we've posted new leadership positions for the corral. There's 6 positions, there's 6 compensated positions, and those 6 positions will each have their own responsibilities to all work together to try to accomplish the overall goal, which is making our student section the best in the Pac-12.
So so compensating. So you're now paying students. Is this in terms of a scholarship? Is this in terms of, maybe dive into that a little more? And previously, was this just a volunteer position? But how do you think, and the investment you guys are making and now paying some of these students at the corral, how do you think that's going to help?
Yeah. So in the past, it was just a student organization. And so, there was no compensation. They just did it for the love and did it, to build their resume. But again, we realized that, we need somebody who we're investing in. And so, yeah, the payment is in the form of a scholarship. And so they will be paid scholarships to basically be fans. So, but also, having some goals that we're trying to achieve as well. And so we're also bringing on a GA who will help oversee that and who will be kind of supervisor / kind of like the leader of the corral.
And I know you're not ready to probably announce it yet, but my understanding is that's when people hear that, the GA maybe, or the position, I'm not that's who you're talking about, but somebody that comes from a place that knows a thing or two about filling a student section and getting the crazies going, I guess, so to speak.
That would be the goal, BJ. That would be the goal.
All right. We'll wait till that get announced. But, I mean, you guys are literally stealing from other teams to try to find somebody to get this thing going. I think it's awesome. Can't wait till that comes out and I hear more about that because I've only heard bits and pieces of it. But I know you have some different things you're trying to focus on. You mentioned the leadership roles, but the corral has been the tradition of the corral has been strong, and that place has been overflowing and packed. And when I first got here in 2013, there was this guy, TB, that wore this straw hat and was just down there in the front row and had everybody doing the chants together and things. I know so it's not like, it's been there before. It's just a small place. And so is that what you guys are trying to really kind of focus on, is that tradition and get back to that? And why do you think this last year you guys had such a struggle getting students to come out?
Yeah. So to your first point, BJ, yes. Like the goal is to get some, lack of a better term, Cameron crazies. Everybody knows what that means when you say it. But you have a group of people who come to games and almost play a character because they know that they have a role in the game. As far as your other question, last year being my first year, being able to just kind of experience for the first time, I don't necessarily have an answer. I will say across the country, you know, I think it really is hit and miss with student sections at basketball. You know, I recently was talking to a colleague at Indiana, and I'd watched Indiana games, and I noticed like in the balcony where the students sit, that's where I went to school. And so I would see some games, there'd literally be nobody in the balcony. I thought that they actually shut down the balcony for maybe safety reasons or something. And the answer was no, there was just a lack of interest. So, you know, as much as we know that we have a lot to do here, you know, really across the country, you're seeing it in different forms or fashions. That said, not an excuse, especially here. We have high standards, and we expect to meet those standards. So
now, folks are giving suggestions. If you have a suggestion in the chat, I guess Mike's here for a couple more minutes. Throw something in there that you want to have them think about or take a look at. I've always said, Mike, and I know you guys are working on something like this, but football games has such a clear buildup. You know, there's a set pattern of what happens. The Boise State, you know, the national anthem, the alma mater, the national or the Boise State chant, everything. The mascot comes out, it kind of builds right till kickoff. Is that something too that you guys can try to create in terms of basketball, in terms of a little more tradition there, in terms of, I don't know what the song would be, but like, you know, when obviously Seven Nation Army hits and you know it's time and the place is rocking right before the football team comes out, it seems sometimes with ad reads and other things, maybe there's just not as much energy and the team kind of comes out and you start the game. Is that something maybe you guys are looking at in terms of how can you guys added the camera, which I thought was awesome for when the team's in the locker room coming out. That was something I had also mentioned, way to see that the fans know the team is coming and they're going. And you guys, that was a great addition. But is the pregame too something you guys are working on to try to get that crescendo going right at tip off?
No, you nailed it. You know, you talked about earlier how, you know, we're stealing from other schools. I think maybe it starts with just stealing from our own teams, right? You talk about how football has the great buildup. I think maybe we need to start there when it comes to basketball so people kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, I think that would be great. And so can they still is the deadline today? When is the deadline here if there's any students watching in terms of signing up for these positions, or did that already pass?
Yeah, no, if students want to sign up, you have until Friday. I say go to our social medias. Our men's basketball team just reposted this yesterday. You can go to our Boise State Athletics account on LinkedIn and apply. If you are a student and you are familiar with Handshake, it is also up on Handshake. So yeah, I mean, we have it in numerous places. We just sent out another email yesterday to our whole student body. So again, you know, we have quite a few applicants so far, so we're happy with that. But you know, we want to be able to select the best of the best. So the more applicants, the better.
And I think it's funny because, I mean, I think under Leon Rice, you guys have won like 82% of your home games or something. I mean, 8 out of 10 times the last 16 years, over 8 out of 10 times somebody comes to Extra Mile Arena, they're going to see a win. And the other 20% are usually close, exciting games. You know, the other close, 2 out of 10 are usually close, exciting games, even when they do lose. I know there was a couple this year, but I mean, it's the product. There's going to be the haters. I get it, all that stuff. But the by and large, the product when folks come to a home game is you're going to see a fun, exciting game. And like I said, more than 8 out of 10 times, you're going to see a win.
100%. And, you know, I think, again, seeing basketball games across the country, we do have a really, really good product, you know, but again, we have high standards and we want to be the best of the best. And so, you know, we're not going to stop until we get there. And so whatever we have to do this year or next year, the year after that, we're going to continue to do it, because just saying it is what it is isn't an option. So
now, again, Mike Mertens, our guest here on Bronco Nation News. Some of these you have no control with. You don't make the schedule, but Brad wants an exciting first game, get people invested early in the season. Most years, not a good home game till January. Nathaniel wants you to play Fuel by Metallica as the team is coming in from the locker room. Keep that in mind there. Let's see a couple other comments on that, but the Section 12, I know you guys are still working on how that's going to work. I don't remember if the name's officially been announced and it was voted on or whatever else. What can you tell us about that at the other end of the arena there, and what the plans are kind of for that? I know it's a very affordable ticket price, and you're hoping that becomes kind of a second student section at the other end where people are standing the whole game, excited about it. What can you tell us about that part?
Yeah, you know, I'll go back again to what you said earlier about copying other people. I think this is going to be something that you're going to start to see other universities start to copy, because I do think it is very unique to Boise State. right now until other people see how we execute it and how it really makes a difference. And so, yeah, no, we have not come up with a name yet. I think there's still voting is going on for that. But yeah, the fact that you can get in at such a reasonable price point, $199 for season tickets for Division I basketball program, I really do think that it's going to be a game changer. And I think it's also going to help the student section kind of feed off the student section, that hopefully they'll be able to feed off of each other. And, again, we'll have something that nobody else in the country has.
Now, Tequila Gus, once he has the answer, just hand each student a Monster Energy drink on their way in. Give them some energy and have them fired up. But I would say, and you mentioned the Cameron Crazies, like I think basketball more than any other sport, that home court advantage really, like the fans really can make a difference. In an Extra Mile Arena, I've said it. Like I said, I've been to a lot of venues, San Diego State, 10 times, all these other, the Pit, all these legendary quote unquote arenas. And when Extra Mile Arena is full and rocking, that there's no place better on the West Coast. They might be tied, but that place is rocking. And if you can get like I said, the 80% already, and you make this place, and then all of a sudden go a little higher and get it to, it's really close to being super special. And I guess just convincing that of the students and starting with the students there is the big key. So the fact that you guys have identified this, how much are you working with the team and the coaches? I know somebody joked about the schedule or whatever, but I mean, in terms of Coach Rice, and he had some public comments, obviously, that were made a big deal last year, about the students and the crowd. But how are you guys working with the team itself, and are they making suggestions, and are you guys going to them for approval on stuff? How's it kind of working with the staff, of the team itself in terms of coming up with this kind of vision here?
Yeah, it's a team effort. We have pod meetings every week, and we kind of go through, like right now with no games going on, we're all talking and planning about what's going on for next year. And so we have men's basketball in those meetings, and we're having conversations, and they understand, and they're taking feedback. And yes, they have some suggestions themselves. And so again, we're just working as a team. That's one thing that I really enjoy about working at Boise State, especially in the athletic department, is like how much, it's not just on one person to fix. We do it together. So that's why I know that this is going to work, because, again, it's not like that everywhere.
I know in the state of Idaho, this isn't that easy, but BSU Bill says dollar beer nights would do the trick. That might, you never know, but that's not nearly as easy from what I'm told as people think it is to do, but that would probably do it. Any kind of final message or word just to all the, 330 whatever plus people watching right now, and the many more thousands that'll watch later, just that on what the ultimate goal here and just the need. And I know most of our folks watching aren't students, but just the ultimate goal here in terms of, with Gonzaga and some of these big teams you have now coming in, what you guys are ultimately trying to do with Extra Mile Arena, whether it be with the student section, Section 12, the reseeding. There's a lot going on this year in terms of basketball and the seating and the environment and all this. What's kind of the message you'd like to leave with everybody about what you guys are doing and how folks can obviously help be a difference maker down at the X?
Yeah, I'll say this. I know Bronco Nation's very aware that, things are not getting cheaper. And so if we are going to consistently be, having to ask Bronco Nation for their support from a financial standpoint, we better be doing our job on our end to make sure that we are providing a top-notch experience, that's something that they feel good about coming to and spending their money on. And so we don't take that lightly. And so everything that we do centers around the fan experience and how to make it the best it possibly can be. So people feel like when they come to a game, they get to come to something that most people don't get to come to, and that's a top-notch experience. So I just want Bronco Nation to know that we have that in mind, and we are trying our best to make sure that, we're doing them justice and making them proud.
And I think folks need to realize too, you guys are 6 months or whatever from a game, and you're having weekly meetings to try to fix this. Again, 6 positions for the Corral, now paid scholarship positions. They want to define the responsibilities, stronger organization and execution. They want that energy, the engagement, the tradition to return there in the Corral. And again, a good connection between the students, the athletic department, and kind of build that consistency, the momentum for the future when it comes to just what this student section could be in the Pac-12 year. So you have till Friday. If you are a student, if you know a student, 6 positions available, and you look at that, they've got everything covered. That's like an entire marketing team there just for the corral. So pretty cool. Awesome that you guys are doing this, Mike. And like I said, basketball has long been a passion of mine, and traveling to a lot of the road games with the team and stuff and seeing all these other venues and things. I think Extra Mile Arena could be right there at the top, and you guys are well on your way to making that happen again. So appreciate you popping on. When we get some more updates and things on some of these announcements, maybe get you back on later this summer as we get closer to the season. But really appreciate your time, and kudos, nice work, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have planned down the road here.
Awesome. Thank you, BJ. Appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate it. There he is, Mike Mertens. Again, shout out to the athletic department and everybody over there, and Mike's heading up their efforts there. That student section is going to be great. And, I mean, you all saw the pictures. You all saw it last year. It wasn't pretty, but I think they're well on their way to getting that turned around this year and getting the students engaged again. And I think it's going to be a really, really cool what they're doing down there. And now, again, paying students. They're offering scholarships. The athletic department is paying for scholarships to get folks to run the corral and do things. And when you find out one of the announcements he was talking about hiring a GA, I can't really let the cat out of the bag there, but you're going to go, wow, like they're serious about this. When you find out what they're doing and who they're bringing in to run this, it's pretty cool. They're again, copying other schools, looking at other schools. How are they doing it? Let's do it better than them. And sometimes that means stealing from some of those schools. So it's going to be pretty cool. They got a lot of stuff in the works and the plans. I probably already said too much, but the student section is the lifeblood of a basketball arena. You guys know this. It was embarrassing. I'll say it. The student section was embarrassing at those games for a lot of the season. And you can say what you want, the chicken or the egg, the product on the court wasn't, but it's not. Even the students that show up, they're sitting most of the game. They're not standing. They're on their phones. They're talking to their friends. Like the student, there's 20,000 plus students at Boise State, thousands of which live in the dorms in the parking lot attached to the arena. Like it should be fairly easy to get a lot of students into the student section. It just hasn't been. But let's see here. We got a Thaddeus Oldridge. BJ, you should be the hype guy for the student section in between pre and post. No thanks. Thaddeus, if that's something you might be interested in, maybe they can. I'm not sure if you're a student or not. Maybe they can find a way to get you down there. Maybe get you hyping up the crowd. But I'm okay. I'll let the now students that are getting paid be the hype guy. But damn shame it's going to take paying the students to get engaged, but I'm happy they're doing it. Now, it's not all students. It's just like 6 students that'll be on that leadership committee. Is there a budget for the GA and those on scholarship helping? Again, I don't know the answers to all that. All I know right now is the positions are available. They're revamping the student section. That'll be there until Friday. I know a lot of you are asking about beer. Can you offer a beer and a hot dog with a ticket? I've said that for years that would do it. Some schools do it happy hour. It's from when the time the gates open till the first media timeout. Maybe that'll get people in there earlier. But you guys know the state of Idaho. You know the state board. You know some of the way this state is. It's not as easy to get stuff like that approved. And so I think there might be more of a path now that athletics has taken over the arena. But I don't think it's as easy as some people think to just I don't think it's just as easy as you think to just go start serving beer at the games. It's just not. But kudos to everybody, Mike, but I mean all the way up to Jeremiah. Now, see, Johnny Ballgame would be a nice hype guy. I think Johnny Ballgame, I think, could maybe get there and get the crowd going. I've always long said, like, the free throws, like, go watch a basketball game at Kansas. They've got coordinated free throws. They're doing this every free throw, whether they're, waiting until he shoots it and going like this. They have the one where people stand up at different times, like, the roller coaster one where they're all, there's so many different things you can do during free throws instead of just holding up fat heads. That was always one area I think could be better, but it sounds like they're well on their way. And Extra Mile Arena, guys, is a very tough place to play. 82% or whatever it is, 83 now, 81. It's above 80%, Leon Rice's winning percentage, which is why I always laugh when people say, give them a product to come watch. Over the last 16 years under Leon Rice, they've won more than 8 out of 10 games they play inside Extra Mile Arena. And if you go look at the 2 out of 10 they lose, those, I think it's like 10% of those, losses are like double-digit losses. They had a couple last year, obviously, the back-to-back Utah State, Grand Canyon, but that just does not typically happen. Even when they lose, it's a pretty competitive, fun game. It's very rare that they're just going to get blown out from start to finish. I mean, it's happened like 10 times or less in that arena under Leon Rice. So when you go, you're going to get an exciting game, a fun game. And those close games that they've lost, if you get a louder student section, a louder crowd, that could be the difference in some of those games. I mean, Tyree says it's elite when sold out for a big opponent. Yeah, it is. It really is. And so kudos to Jeremiah and everybody. They've identified it. They're making significant changes. The Gonzaga game next year will be wild. They're going to be top 10. That's going to be crazy. But I think that they're doing all they can. I know a lot of folks are upset with the reseating of the arena and all that, and it is what it is. But the student section, they're already working now here in April to get the students in. I mean, the actual season's been over. The championship game was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they're already, focused on getting the students involved for next year. I think it's Cody Gogler and the whole crew there deserve a lot of credit, and we'll see what else exciting stuff they have to go. But I know they have a plan, and it's going to be exciting to see what it looks like for basketball later this season. Speaking of basketball, the tournament expanding to 76 teams. What do you think about that? We'll discuss that in just a second. But Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com, TacoBellWorks.com, the SOM Management Group, the Nicolason family. We appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. And whether it's the crunchy chicken cantina tacos, all the quesadillas, crunch wraps, everything there at Taco Bell, they're adding to the menu daily. TacoBellWorks.com. Visit a Treasure Valley Taco Bell location today. Hey, Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. We bought and sold our home with Matt and his team. Tremendous customer service. No stone was left unturned. We got top value on both our sale and our purchase. He got us in our dream home that we didn't think was possible, and it's all due to Matt Bauscher and his team. 252-9877. I really do encourage you. I know everybody's got a lot of friends, family that are realtors, but online, BauscherRealEstate.com. Hey, Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. They do it one roof at a time. I know Bob Berry just got his roof done from there and was super happy with Signature Roofing. He sent me a note about it. So whether it's a full re-roof, whether it's a repair to a roof, an inspection, an estimate, Signature Roofing, folks, I will connect you directly to the owner. If you're looking at getting a new roof, just want to see how much it would cost, I can help get you the best deal. Reach out to me. I'll connect you. Signature Roofing online, mysignatureroofing.com. And the same goes if you need a new fence, elementfencing.com. They're sponsoring our defensive player of the game for the football season coming up. But whether it's decks, pergolas, fences, again, decks, cedar, wrought iron, vinyl, they can do it all. 25 plus years. Brady and his staff building fencing projects in and around the Treasure Valley. They are ready to help you build that perfect project from the ground up. Give them a call. Check them out at elementfencing.com, but I can connect you personally as well. Element Fencing online, elementfencing.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. 13 locations around the state of Idaho. Again, we're going to talk about the NCAA Tournament expanding to 76 teams here momentarily. Ridley's Family Markets, love that Kuna location. And again, they're a hometown grocer. They support the community. They support the local teams. Idaho, born and bred. So Ridley's Family Markets, folks, when you're thinking about where to go that next trip to the grocery store, Kuna, Middleton, Star, they've got them in all over the state of Idaho, surrounding states. Get more information, find a location near you at shopridleys.com. And of course, rowpaint.com, our longest sponsor on BNN, tied with Ridley's actually. Rowpaint.com, we appreciate them. If you want to get the interior, exterior painting, concrete coatings are world famous. I actually hooked up somebody and connected them with Andy Rowe yesterday for some siding on their house. So rowpaint.com, power in people, pride in painting. Give them a call, 991-0567. The best in the business, folks, rowpaint.com. All right, the expanding tournament will not take away the play-in games. It will just add more play-in games. They're still working on the exact format, but basically it's going to 76 teams. You're now going to have 8 teams playing quote-unquote opening round games. I think is what they're calling them now, opening round games. 8 teams will play as the 16 seeds. So you're going to have, typically on the first night you had 16 versus 16 on Tuesday, and then one, at-large game. You had 16 versus 16 on Wednesday, one at-large game. Now you're going to have all 4 games, including 16 seeds. So you're going to have 16 versus 16, 16 versus 16, 16 versus 16, 16 versus 16. You're going to have 4 play-in games, so to speak, to get to the 16 seed to play the 1. So does that make sense? You're going to have the play-in game For the 16 spots, there will be 4 of those, and then the winner of that will be the 16 seed and play the number 1 seed. You're going to have 2 of them for the 15 seeds also. So you're going to have 15 versus 15, 15 versus 15. So now the lowest ranked 12 teams in the tournament, and you can be a conference champion, you can be at large, whatever. If you are the 12 lowest ranked teams that got in and have the worst, metrics and record, you will play in one of these opening round games. Doesn't matter if you won your conference, regular season, tournament. Doesn't matter if you're at large, if you're an automatic qualifier. If you have the 12 worst metrics, you will play in either the 16 playing games or half of the 15 games. So it will now be a 15-15. The winner of that will be a 15 and play a 2. And there'll be another 15 versus 15. The winner of that will be a 15 and play a 2. And then the other 2 15s will just play the 2 right away in the first round. You're also going to have 12 teams playing for the final at-large spots as well. So you're looking at 11, 12, maybe some 13 seeds. So you had those 11 versus 11 play-in games, they would call it, for the final 4 teams that got in that would go to Dayton. Well, you're going to have that, but there's going to be more of those as well. So you're going to have 6 games featuring teams that are going to try to win to get into the first part of the field. They are adding another West Coast site. I think Las Vegas makes a lot of sense for this, but I could see Salt Lake City. I could see San Diego. Heck, I think Boise would make a lot of sense. I know they had problems in the past dealing with some of the transgender laws and things, but I think Boise has always shown up and filled that place and would be an awesome spot. There's some long-standing history. I don't know if that's something that they're going to try to they're going for or trying to get or what's going on, but I think that Boise would be an awesome spot. I'm guessing that's not where it goes, but I do think it'd be a cool spot to have, and they have the history of the tournament there. I'm guessing Vegas is easy to get to, makes a lot of sense. Maybe Salt Lake City, but they need a Western part time zone wise to make this work. You're not going to have, some of the games in Dayton, some of the games out here. But again, you're going to have 4, say 12s instead of having, a play-in game to be 12 and a play-in game to be the 11, or whatever. You're not going to have 4 of those or 6 of those, excuse me. So all 4 12s will be 12 versus 12. Winner plays the 5. 11 versus 11. Winner plays the 6. There's going to be 6 of those games as well. Those are all going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. So you're probably getting games all day now. 1 game spread out throughout the day on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then by the time you get to Thursday morning, you're back to your normal 64. And that's what you're going to have. So you're going to go Tuesday and Wednesday now are going to be all day and have extra games. But by the time you get to Thursday morning at 10 a.m., you're going to be back to your 64 teams, just like they've always been. And for me, I think it's great. I know a lot of folks don't like it. They think it's watering it down. But everybody that's saying that and complaining, they're going to be watching all day Tuesday and all day Wednesday, all these extra games. More games is better. Also, they say a lot of the smaller teams are getting, gypped by having to play an extra game in all this. No, they actually have a chance to win the game now. And if a 16 plays a 16, you have a chance to beat a team on your level, get a win, get money for your conference and your team, and still get to advance. So all those teams now have an actual chance, a realistic chance of winning a game and advancing and getting 2 extra days and then going on to play the number 1 seed or the big boys. More teams, more opportunities for student athletes to be in the tournament. People can complain, it's just going to be I don't need to see a 7-13 SEC, all this stuff. Get in. I understand that, but you're still going to watch. It's the tournament. The more teams, the better. I'm not going to try to change some of your minds, but a lot of these college basketball elitists, all this just to get Pitt in the tourney. I get it. I understand it. But in the end, you're going to be watching on Tuesday when Pitt is playing Oklahoma or something in the 13 versus 13 game. I don't see why it's a bad thing to have more games. It's a couple extra games. It's 8 more teams. It's not the end of the world. And everybody will be watching, and that's 8 more fan bases. And if the Boise States of the world get in all of a sudden, you're not going to be complaining that Boise State got in. And the 8 extra teams that get in are going to get to play a team on their level and have a chance to win a game. So I just personally don't, all the national people ripping it and fans don't want this. Please, I'm sorry. I don't see that. I personally think it's great. More teams, more games, more fun that week. I think it's going to be awesome. I have no big deal with it. If you remember on the transgender laws, COVID ended up canceling the tournament, but there was going to be a problem where the Boise State was supposed to host the NCAA tournament, and there was a transgender law in Idaho that went against the NCAA law, and there was a strong likelihood the NCAA was going to pull the tournament out of Boise if the law was not changed in the state of Idaho. I don't remember what all's happened with that. Maybe that got changed. I apologize, but I know at one point, they were going to pull the NCAA tournament out of Boise because of the transgender law and the NCAA's law not agreeing with the state of Idaho. That may have changed. I don't know. I know there's no games scheduled right now. No tournament scheduled for Boise in the near future. I think they've announced them for the next 3 years already, and Boise's not one of them. So we'll have to monitor that. I do think Boise would be a great spot. Guessing they go to a bigger spot like Vegas or somewhere where it's just more exciting and easier for people to travel to, but who knows? And yes, they keep adding teams, and everyone says, oh, all the teams they're adding don't have a chance to win. Who cares about the 340 teams going to 360? It's all lower level teams. Like, I get it. I understand it, but who cares? And yes, you are maybe making it harder for some of these teams to advance because now they have to win an extra game. But in the end, all the realistic teams that have a chance of winning, nothing changing. They're staying the same seed. Their path doesn't change. They don't play more games. This is all extra stuff that had nothing to do with teams that actually are going to win the championship. So it's extra games on the first 2 days. I think it's great. And if that means the Boise State would have got in once or twice more, that's cool as well. But again, I'm someone that went to Kansas. I've never had to worry about the bubble my entire life. Okay. So this isn't like some personal thing. And yeah, would it be cool to cover the tournament a couple more times with Boise State? Sure. But does this go into next season, make it a little more exciting? 8 more spots now? Yeah, it does. I think it's awesome. So more teams is a good thing in my opinion, and I have no problem with it. I know some of you disagree, but it is what it is at this point. It's not official yet. They do have some final T's to cross and I's to dot, but it sounds like that will happen in time for next season, and they are working on another spot to host the West Coast games, and it is what it is. But again, if you missed us early in the show, we made the announcement right after Boise State did. The new blue turf has been announced, the logo for the new blue turf, and or the design, it'll be coming later this summer. And if you notice a couple things on here, obviously the new Pac-12 logo is here on that, which is pretty cool. But at the 35-yard line, if you take a look, you'll see instead of the old traditional X for where the kickers kick off from, now you have the state of Idaho. The state of Idaho will now be instead of the X where they kick the ball. And on the kickoffs, cool little touch there. And we'll see how big it actually is. It looks pretty small there, but I think it's going to be big enough that you'll still notice it. And then the coolest part of this, on the 2 and on the 11-yard lines, and you heard Mike say they had to get approval from the NCAA on this, but the 2 and the 11 hash marks on both sidelines are now going to be orange for Ashton Jeanty and Kellen Moore. Boise State posted a video showing this as well. But they had to get approval. They'll be the first school to do this, but the 2 and the 11-yard lines will be orange in honor of Ashton Jeanty and Kellen Moore. Pretty cool ode to them. Lyle Smith Field does remain, as it always has in the past, and that'll be on the different version of north, I guess the north west corner and the southeast, if I'm thinking about it right, where that graphic is. You see it there on the top left, bottom right of the field. And again, that'll be installed later this summer. The 7th version of the new blue turf, first time since 2019. So they're going to have a brand new shiny blue turf for their debut season in the Pac-12. The 7th version in the 40-year history. They've been doing it a lot more updated lately. The first couple times they had much bigger gaps in terms of replacing it, but it's like anywhere from 5 to 8 years, I think, is the shelf life of a blue turf. And 2019 was the last time this one was installed. And again, not cheap either to make this happen. But Tyree says good takes. Agree with a lot of what you're saying. Double O'Neill also agrees. All about watching football and basketball. I get it. In my mind, the tournament doesn't start till it's done. Well, that's fine. Then who cares? Let them add as many as they want. Like 76. There's 360 teams. You're still having 25% get in. It's not like a bowl game where 80 of the 140 teams get to go to a bowl game. Your percentage is still way less than a lot of the other sports in terms of their postseason. So I got no problem with it. I think it's great. But appreciate you guys. for watching the show today. 55 minutes, a lot of good breaking news on the blue turf. The student section for the basketball team. Thanks to Mike for coming on and talking about that. And stay tuned for some other cool announcements. But I know the reseeding has some of you guys fired up, mad, disappointed. But they really are trying over there to make some significant changes and get that atmosphere back and get that place rocking again at Extra Mile Arena. So excited what Mike and Cody and the whole staff over there comes up with. And this is a really nice start. Again, if you know a student, they have till Friday. They can sign up for one of those 6 positions, and we'll definitely follow that as we move along here. But Sun Cruiser, our studio sponsor, appreciate Sun Cruiser. Go check them out. Blueberry lemonade's my new favorite flavor. They've got strawberry lemonade, pink lemonade. Grab that variety pack and try out all the different flavors yourself. Perfect beer or a beverage for having golf. Everyone likes to go have a golf beer. We'll have a Sun Cruiser instead now. It is a awesome beverage to have while you're just hanging out, barbecuing with friends while you're on the golf course. Great, day drinking beverage. So Sun Cruiser, delicious, love them, appreciate them. And as always, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor. New or pre-owned vehicle, now's the time. Jim Sturk, Jamie Drake, their staff, they are ready to help you out. They're taking care of Spencer Danielson, taking care of Jeremiah Dickey, a lot of players, staff. They're doing so much for Boise State Athletics, so much for Bronco Nation News. If you like watching our shows, please support all of our sponsors, folks, and that includes our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. If you missed it, Chris Van Sickle, a new recruiting story, a tight end from Bend, Oregon, over there in Oregon. He talked to him about his visit to the Blue, and he made sure to talk to him and get a story posted. So recruiting coverage on targets, on commits, on signees, on visitors. Nobody's covering recruiting better than Bronco Nation News, and we have our 50% offer right now. So if you're looking to get up-to-date information on Boise State recruiting, Boise State analysis, Boise State commentary from Mike Prater, all those things, we can do it for you at bronconationnews.com. We're part of the 24/7 sports family. And again, 50% off right now, that yearly rate at bronconationnews.com. So appreciate all of you guys that have already subscribed. And if you're on the fence, subscribe, bronconationnews.com. And we'd love to have you. Again, 50% off for the best Boise State coverage around at home, on the road, media days, tournaments, wherever the Broncos are. Bronco Nation News is there as well, covering the Broncos, and we'll be doing that here when football season gears up. So go subscribe. Give us a like and a subscription on our YouTube channel on the way out the door here. Subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like. Help our algorithms there. And Thaddeus Oldridge with the final comment of the day. Great show, BJ. Well, appreciate that, Thaddeus. Thanks a lot for the kind words. That truly feels great. So appreciate it. Hope everybody has a great day. I guess it wasn't the last comment. We'll throw a couple more up there. Thank you guys for the comments, the interactions. You can keep that going in the message boards over at BNN. We got the message boards, football and basketball free boards. We got the VIP board as well. So if you want to 24/7, no pun intended, talk Boise State sports, you can go to our message boards and join and start the discussion there on various topics. We'd love to chat with you there. I'm in the message boards there. Chris, Nathan, Prater, Johnny, everybody's in there chatting, talking. So bronconationnews.com is the place for Boise State coverage. And you can subscribe right now, 50% off. We appreciate all you guys for your support. And thanks to Mike for jumping on. We'll have Johnny tomorrow. Jeremiah Dickey tomorrow as well, the Boise State athletic director. He'll join us at 9:15. We're going to start a little early tomorrow, 8:45. We'll start at 8:45 tomorrow. We'll have Johnny, and then we'll have Jeremiah Dickey joining us at 9:15. So make plans to be with us tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. We'll have Johnny Ballgame, and then again, bring your questions for the athletic director at Boise State. And that'll be Jeremiah Dickey at 9:15 tomorrow. Appreciate you guys for the comments, for watching. Give it a like. Give us a subscription on the way out. And we will talk to you guys at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Obviously, if any other news breaks or anything else, we'll be covered online, bronconationnews.com. And we'll see you tomorrow from the Sun Cruiser Studios, presented by our title sponsor, Lithia Ford of Boise. My name is BJ Rains. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:45.